Good evening, San Diego. Meteorologist Sean Stiles here on CBS 8 Plus. Thanks for joining us as we get ready to ring in the new year and say adios to 2025. It looks like, at least at this point, we're going to probably see rain. If not a lot, at least some for your New Year's Eve. How about the weather today? How weird was it for you to look outside and see the clouds and think, oh, I better put a sweater on or something? Well, the clouds were all from tropical moisture, and it brought in warm air. 75 degrees was the high today in downtown San Diego, 66 to 30-year average. And that moisture is going to couple with some area of low pressure out of the Gulf of Alaska, and that's going to give us a chance of rain. No watches or warnings for San Diego. How bad could it be? Well, let's just go north up into Los Angeles, and we got a flood watch from Orange County, Riverside, Los Angeles, Ventura, and Santa Barbara counties as the ground is heavily saturated up there. You may remember last week they saw 10 plus inches in some locations. So they're very, very leery of any rain coming in. Here's how the sprinkles came down this morning. Did you get any of those on your windshield or see them on the roadways? And then by, say, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, it started to dry out. That's the first wave of that moisture coming into Southern California. The highs across San Diego, including downtown, were very warm. 77 in Escondido, 75 in Oceanside, Encinitas, Del Mar 76, 75 in Jamul, 75 in El Cajon. So definitely a warm air mass across Southern California. Highs for tomorrow, a totally different picture as the colder, cooler air will be coming in, and that moist air will have been pushed out of here as the cooler air from the Gulf of Alaska will mix in with that. As you look at your current temperatures, though, we're still very mild from Alpine out to the coast, 71, 72 in Del Mar, 75 still in Encinitas. So some very moist, warm air. This is a live shot from Mount Soledad. We're looking at downtown San Diego, lights of Tijuana, and then in the foreground there, we're looking at Mission Bay. 73 degrees, very, very light wind. The winds have just been non-existent, 2 miles per hour out of the north. It's cold in the Mammoth Lakes area, 21 degrees, and they're going to get more snow out of this. The snow level will start high and then drop down to about 7,500 feet. No snow in the Southern California mountains, at least at this point. The cold air will not get in there. 57 in Monterey, 63 in Santa Barbara, 65 for the folks out in Phoenix, and 54 in Las Vegas. All right, here's how this is all going to play out. We've got a series of storms in the Pacific. This is the one that is going to activate this warm, moist air coming up from the Baja here. The low started down off of, say, south central Baja California. It's getting wrapped up into this low, and by tomorrow morning, we'll start to see some light showers. The low comes onshore, and so by the time we get to New Year's Eve, we're going to have a widespread area of rain and snow in the higher elevations, as I said, and this will then work its way through the area. And as we get into the afternoon on Thursday, we'll actually start to see some clearing. A break in the action on Friday, and then another storm on Saturday, and yet another storm in the Pacific. You'll see that play out on the 7-day forecast. Here's how it's going to happen over the, say, 4 to 5 hours leading up to New Year's Eve. So 6:45, pretty much widespread rain across San Diego County. It continues to rain into 7 o'clock. As we go to, say, 10 o'clock, a little break in the North County, but you'll notice some pretty strong cells moving through the area, clipping downtown San Diego. So maybe a little break for the New Year's Eve ringing in at midnight, but I got to think that showers are just going to be moving through the area so quickly. And then as we get into Thursday, look at these heavy downpours moving through the North County and into the mountainous areas. And then there's the clearing as we get into the late afternoon on Thursday. Rainfall totals, we're talking about 1 inch to 1.5 inches up and down the coastline from Santa Barbara to San Diego. So some pretty good amounts of rain coming down in about a 24-hour period. Weather impact for Wednesday, Thursday, it's New Year's Eve, so any rain is going to cause a problem. Coast, mountains, inland, break in the action, then those series of storms just keep rolling by and rolling on through. So we've got our eye on that. The mountains, we're not going to see a lot of wind and certainly no snow, but it looks like a break on Friday and then more rain coming in as we get into the new year. That's a look at your weather.